Kuldeep ji, thank you for speaking to us here on Times Now. I just want to know from you, when you read about the entire incident, you saw the various twists and turns, and now the Pune Police is at pains to kind of defend itself and say that there is action that we are being, looking at. Is this good enough, sir? Has the police, has the system not failed the family of the victims who are still very skeptical that there's going to be any kind of justice for them?
In this case, the system has not broken down, but the policemen who were there to take cognizance of it, and the judiciary, the tribunal, which was meant to go into depth into this entire episode, into the entire case, the accident, the causes of it, they did their job very perfectly without trying to understand the spirit of the law. They tried to benefit the juveniles who otherwise behave totally like an adult, and the judge who let him off with funny sort of accountability like that, he write an essay and all that. That was a matter of laughing stock all over. Had the social media and the media in general not spoken about it in the manner in which it did, this case would have been wrapped up. Nobody would have bothered about it. And the two young persons who were killed because of this boy's deliberate act of killing two people, that would have gone like any other road accident, which normally doesn't attract major penalties. In this case, everybody, the police and the judge should have understood that this boy was driving without license, number one. Number two, he was drunk, and he was under the influence of liquor, and he had gone to the pub where he was served, and which was not authorized because he was underage for that. Then he had overspeeded, and that sort of speed of 240 kilometers per hour would have killed, if not these two young boy and girl, it could have killed anybody else also. So this entire action, and the father who gave the car to him, who kept the car at his disposal, and the driver who had taken the permit, who didn't want to give the car to this boy for driving, and he sought the permission of the father of the boy, who asked him that he should be allowed to drive. All these people are culpable for the murder. In this case, initially the case was taken as a case of normal road accident to death due to negligence. Later on, it was converted into 304, that is culpable homicide. But if you ask me frankly, all actions preceding this accident were such which attracts a charge of 302 murder, because all the preceding occurrences, like this boy going to pub, drinking against the law, then doesn't have license, still driving. Third, driving under influence of liquor. Fourth, driving at very high speed, which could kill anybody. And it killed two persons.
Oh, yes.
So all actions were there to ensure that somebody gets killed. So it is not a death amounting to murder, but it is a murder in which the boy, his father, and some action should be taken against the person who gave him that mind, who let him off with some sort of warning or some advisory. He needs also to be taken to task.
Okay.
That will set the system right on its correct rail.
All right, Kuldeep Khoda ji, the former DGP of Jammu and Kashmir, I think there is a lot of angst also in how you speak today, and we identify with that sentiment, sir. Thank you so much for speaking to us on Times Now, and I think anyone that you speak to today about the incident will tell you exactly what you've just heard from our guest. But clearly, will the system be held accountable? Will the loopholes be plugged? Will all those people who are actually allowing this juvenile to walk away free, will they be booked? All these are questions that we'll keep asking, but also important now to just piece together, different issues in the story. How did the killer Brad actually end up behind the wheels of the Porsche? What really happened that night? Now, we are told that this killer brat had told his grandfather that he was going to a party with his friends who had just passed the class 12th exams. Now, then he receives the Porsche keys, a credit card to pay for the party. So, you saw that happening. He then drives the Porsche to these pubs while his driver is tailing him. When he comes out after the party at this pub, then there is something that he rakes up a huge amount in a short space of time. He's looking inebriated, and hence the driver then tells his father that this is a situation. The driver, remember, had driven the Porsche out of the parking, but the brat insists on driving, and his father actually acceded. He agreed to it. So the driver then gets into the passenger seat while the brat is driving. His friends sit in the back. And clearly, there is an attempt now to also underscore the fact that it is the driver who was driving it, not the juvenile, but clearly we'll see where the story goes.